Health Minister Andrew Gwynn was sacked after it was alleged that he'd been sending racist, sexist and anti-Semitic messages to a WhatsApp group lovingly entitled, I just want to groan it out, Trigger Me Timbers. Members of the group included Burnley MP Oliver Ryan and 11 councillors who have since been suspended from the Labour Party pending an investigation.
I know that there's obviously very serious issues at stake here, but just as a sideline issue, I think only naked photos are a thing that could be more embarrassing than the name of WhatsApp groups you're a member of being released to the public.
Trigger Me Timbers, though. I think if I got the thing like, you are invited to this, I would just decline. I don't want to go in that group.
It's not even that they're named after offensive things. The names are just so embarrassing that no one needs to have those available. If you're a member of a WhatsApp group called Trigger Me Timbers, you should leave that out of sheer shame. But anyway, look, the Labour Party thankfully has moved pretty quickly on this one, but obviously it is disappointing and unfortunately unsurprising to see exactly the same kind of behaviour that we were furious with the Tories coming out from Labour MPs. And we have to focus on one alleged Trigger Me Timbers message in particular. Gwynn had a message from a 72-year-old woman who contacted her about her bin saying, as you have been re-elected, I thought it would be an appropriate time to contact you with regard to the bin collections. When the letter from the resident was shared in the WhatsApp group, Gwynn wrote a suggested response, Dear resident, fuck your bins. I'm re-elected and without your vote. Screw you. P.S. Hopefully you'll all have croaked it by the all-outs.
Fuck your bins. No, absolutely not. Bins are important. They should put fuck your bins on his epitaph.
Again,
morbid thing to say, but
we talk about it all the time. You talk about where politics actually interacts with your life on a day-to-day basis, and bin collection is one of those things. That is an important way in which the government actually impacts on the day-to-day lives of people in this country. I know it sounds like it's a frippery, but it's not. Bin collection is
you're
important.
You're an MP. Of course you're going to receive communications about them. It's not like she was asking who do you prefer, Drake or Kendrick? Do you know what I mean? It's not irrelevant. Anyway, speaking of bins, we had an incredible response to our Bristol bins conversation from last week's show. As a quick reminder, the council there is moving to a 4-week bin cycle, partly for environmental reasons, but mostly to save a bit of money. Lots of you, unsurprisingly, wrote in to say you didn't want a 4-week bin cycle. If anything, you want more frequent collections. We also had a strong reaction to Nish's question about the grim thought of nappies clogging up the bins for a month. But a listener points out that Bristol actually has a year-long trial of a nappy recycling service, which began in July 2024 in partnership with Pura Nappies.
And I can't believe this is actually in the script and I'm reading it out loud. But speaking of nappies, we also had a voice note in from children's nurse and potty learning expert Rebecca Mottram, which we must say is not particularly political, but we felt we should include it in the show because it's perhaps a useful public service announcement for any prospective parents out there.
One thing we need to remember is that poo actually goes down the loo. And it's very, very common for people to just wrap up poo in a nappy and put that in the bin. And actually what we need to be doing is getting that poo and tipping it out of the nappy and flushing it down the toilet. And that in itself will create a significant reduction in the amount of poo going into our rubbish system.
I don't have children. I assumed that the process was you just wrap the shit up in a nappy and chucked it all in the bin. That's new information to me. I hold my hands up.
Poo down the loo, that would be a great jingle.
I have to say, now that you say it out loud, put poo down the loo does seem like the sort of advice we should have been able to intuit. Yeah. I feel as a voting age adult, I should have been able to figure out that poo goes in the toilet.
Listen, the moral of the story is do not mess with the bins when you're in Britain.
Based on our online mailbox, since we started talking about the bins, people really give a shit about the bins.
Yes.
But I'll tell you where you shouldn't be putting your shit, in the bins.
So thank you for writing in, everyone. We love hearing these small p political stories. So if you've got anything else you think we should draw attention to, please do email us at psuk@reducelistening.co.uk.